Directions for Brooks' 4-year plan. Go ahead and open the attached worksheet. So in here, we'll start with the current date. So the current date's in formulas, date and time. Scroll down to today and enter. It'll be the whatever date that you're creating this on. In A4, type January. Use your fill handle and drag it all the way to row 15 for December. In A16, type totals. And then column E, we need to use this, and we're going to delete it as soon as we're finished. Column E, you're going to finish putting in the numbers here. Don't worry about the 2022. We'll put that in after. So go ahead and type in those numbers. And then just, you have to put the decimal in, but just know $ commas, we'll be doing those after. So go ahead and fill those in. Just using your decimal, and we'll format after. So once the numbers have been proofread and correct, you can go ahead and delete this image here. Just select it so that it's a selected object and just press delete. So now we'll do some totals. So I'm going to select the auto sum, and it should be equal sum B4 through E4. I'm going to use my enter check mark here, and then I'm going to go ahead and drag that down. Now, when I go to add column B, it's going to include this number here because it's a number, and numbers always appear to the right, whereas text appears to the left. See, text is on the left. Numbers are on the right aligned. So it's going to want to add that because it doesn't know that it's actually a title name, a column title, 2019, the year. It looks at it as a number. So if I do auto sum, it's going to want to include that in the total. So you could reselect. So instead of picking up at B3, it'll pick up at B4. So you could do that. And then what happens is you get a little error message in here, and this is telling you that your formula omits an adjacent cell. So you could tell it to ignore it because that's okay, because you know that it's supposed to be B4 to B15. So that's one way to do it. And then you can go ahead and drag this across, and it'll all C4s with C15, D4 to D15, and so forth. And I'll just do one more. So that's correct. The other way you could do it, so I'll take those out of there, whoops, is when I was doing the total here, the auto sum, it wants to include that. What I could do to the title, in order to tell it that it's not a value, not a number, it's a title, is just in front of the 2019, I'll type an apostrophe, and that will tell it it's text. Notice now it's left aligned and not right aligned. So I can go ahead and use my fill handle so that it'll go 2021, 22. So I have all the years. Now when I do my auto sum, when I click down in B16 and choose auto sum, it doesn't include B3 because it notices it is a title and not a value. So I can do that and drag it across. Now, if this, again, that green triangle is indicating there's an error. If you go in here and say this number is stored as text, which is correct, but if you don't want to see that green triangle anymore, you can just tell it to ignore the error, and you would just do it on each one of them. And you can tell by looking at the formula that it's not including row 3. And if you wanted to, we could get into cell styles to give the column headings a different labeling, bold, center. Now for the values, because some of them are not showing the 90 cents, the 2 decimal places, select all of them and then choose the accounting format. If you get hashtags, that just means the column's too narrow, so just hover between E and F and double click. And there you should have it. So your formula should be B4 to B15, C4, D4, and it's picking up on all of them. Now let's select the title and merge and center, so it goes across all the 6 columns. And if you want to make the font bigger, you can change the font color, you can add fill to it. Same thing with the subtitle. I'll center that as well, maybe not as large. You can add coloring if you'd like, and shading. And then for the total row, select A through F, cell styles, and total. So let's see how this will print out. So File, Print, and again, it's in portrait, which is fine because you can see it's 1 of 1. Everything fits. There's your total, but it's in the upper left corner. So I'm going to scroll down, choose the link for page setup. The portrait is fine. It all fits. I'll go to margins. I want it centered horizontally and vertically. And for the header, I will do a custom header. I want the date in the left section, file name in the center section, and your first name in the right section. And if you wanted to, on the custom footer in the center, I will put sheet name. Okay, and you have it centered both vertically and horizontally. You have the date, the file name, your name, and on the bottom is the worksheet name. And that's a save and submit. Thank you.